Now, I've just come back from the Moreton Bay Council region, and in particular I've been inspecting a lake called Beachmere Lake. And you'll see on this film that without any doubt the black sludge water that is again leaching and running into the lake is coming out of the works area where the council dug down 20 or 30 drains to pump water out of the substrate. Now that's a sand pit in there, as you're going to see. The camera will show you. The water is black, stinking, sludgy mud, and it's stinking. Now on the other side of the wetlands, the water that does come in from the wetlands is not black, it is not putrid, it is not stinking, there's no hydrogen sulfide in it, but on this side where the camera is going to show you, you will see that it's absolutely loaded with ammonium and hydrogen sulfide. You'll see again that there's a fish kill going on, but you'll also notice that we've got pictures of the council blowing bubbles in the water with an air compressor. But the fish are not running around the air compressor bubbles to get oxygen. On the contrary, they're trying to get out of the lake, which means they are full of toxicity. So we once again have got the fish being poisoned by the sludge coming out of the council works and flowing into the lake. But you've got to realise that this is all happening again, and it's caught them by surprise. We've had 3 inches and 4 inches and another couple of inches, altogether a total of probably 6 inches of rain in that area. And running down the road, running down the gutters and running into this area where the council was working and filling up all of those holes that they pumped out. Now that whole area would have become a retention pit of water again by a lot of fresh water from the rain, which is now seeping back into the Beachmere Lake, and it is killing the fish. Now they will say that it is lack of oxygen. No hot days, so they can't come back on that excuse. There is an algae bloom going on at the moment, which is always because of fresh water and effluent coming in. But I've looked at that and I've tested that, and the algae bloom is not bad enough to kill fish life. So these fish again are being caused into stress and die again by the same ammonia nitrates, which is deadly to the fish. And you'll see here quite clearly that the water that is seeping into the lake again is coming from the KBR Council works area. Now I'm standing on the Cundy Street drain that comes through from the wetlands, and as you can see there is quite a number of dead fish there, but the colour of the water is black murky and it is absolutely stinking. This is leading into Beachmere Lake. Now there's some of the beautiful big fish that are dying, and they're floating everywhere. Now the Moreton Bay Shire, they say there's nothing wrong with the water. They say that it's quite healthy. We have a fellow called Munro Mortimer, the senior advisor, scientist to the government, and he said that there was nothing wrong in his report. And he gave a report to the media to say that it wasn't the nitrates, ammonia poisoning, that it was lack of oxygen. Well, you're looking here at a film of the fish dying from poison, not from lack of oxygen. Now I'm standing on the edge of Beachmere Lake, and you're looking at hundreds and hundreds of fish. They're mainly mullet here, all starving up the top, gasping, and that would give you the opinion that they're starving for oxygen. Well, that's a secondary problem. As I pan down over the water over there, you can see there's quite a number more of these fish, there has been an algae bloom, which indicates that there has been a lot of effluent. But notice that this algae bloom is not severe, and I've seen millions of fish live in an algae bloom far denser than this is, and this is not the cause of any fish that are dying at the moment. Now if you're looking with me here on the screen, you're seeing a lot of fish. They're going to die, but it's not lack of oxygen that's the prime cause here. It's ammonia nitrate. That's poisoning the fish. Now I'm here with Len. Len, you're the chairman of the committee here that is looking after this. Can you tell me what's been going on over the last couple of weeks?
Well, this event here has only materialized over the last day or so. But since the 11th of December, when our action group met with Council, we have been demanding from Council, first of all, minutes of that meeting, which they have not yet been prepared to give us. They were supposed to have KBR, these are the experts that the Council appointed to provide an action plan to solve the problems with the lake. We haven't heard from them either. And so we are pretty pissed off that nothing appears to have been done. Okay, then walk over here with me. I'll just keep the camera going. Okay. And we're looking at the channel that comes in from underneath the road, and it comes in from that wetlands. That's correct. Now, and you can see the condition of that. It's disgusting. Well, you tell the people, what's the condition of that? What the colour of the water is? Well, the water is a grey-green sludge, totally opaque. It is full of dead fish. It is the channel that we told Council a month and a half ago was full of debris and needed urgently to be cleaned up. They have done absolutely nothing about that. Now all this area here that we're looking at where we're standing, that is where they were pumping the substrate, right? Correct. They were pumping the water out from the substrate into the lake, and that is what we realised killed the first lot of fish. Correct. And there was something like, what, 2 ton of fish killed? That is correct. There were thousands of fish killed, and you, together with Ben Diggles, did tests and proved conclusively that that water contained hydrogen sulfide and ammonia. That's right. And the Council were reluctant, totally reluctant to accept that was the major cause of the fish kill. We know that it was. And so they've watered down the situation then and now. Well, we came to the conclusion quite conclusively with Phil Casey and Ben, myself, that it was a very, very high level of nitrate and nitrate, which is ammonia poisoning, which did come from those council works there, which did come from the pumping of the water out of the substrate into this lake. And you might recall... Okay, and now I'm here with Tom. He's another man in the committee here to look after this lake. What's your story? What's been going on?
Well, apart from seeing the crowd from KBR going for a cruise every second or third day, or whoever they are, taking water samples and tests, it astounds me that here we are 72 days down the track from the first kill. They're still monitoring and testing this water. If there's any semblance of truth in the fact that it was high temperatures, low water, low oxygen that caused that first kill, why did we need all that testing? All you have to do is walk up to the top of this here and smell this water, and it'll tell you if it's in it. Ray, I might just say also that we got a circular from the Chief Executive Officer of the Council, right, John Roper, the day before this, 2 days ago, telling all the residents that the water was now clean, the problem was now solved, and the next bloody day we've got all the fish dying. How's that for timing? So they actually gave you a false report. There was a circular, a 2-page circular with diagrams of the lake and everything sent out by the CEO of Council 2 days ago, which said that everything was solved and that the lake condition was now excellent, and then the next day the fish are dead. Now how is that? You might recall that I was at a meeting with you at the council, and I said at that meeting, in your presence, that
they would whitewash it. Have they done that?
That's exactly what this letter says.
So
I'll give
they
you a
have-
copy. You
so
can
they
put it
have
on your
whitewashed.
report. This is a letter, it's dated the 1st of February, for God's
Hold it
sake.
still.
The 1st of February, and it's signed off by...
Wait a minute. All right, now we've got
It's
a copy
signed
of
off by John Robert, who's the CEO.
In closing, I have a simple message for the EPA and the Council. If it was wartime, or if something happened and somebody sprayed poison in the air that we breathe, and we were breathing in poison, what are we going to die from? The poison or lack of oxygen? That's right, we'll die of the poison. So it's the same thing. If you fill up the water with poison, what will the fish die of? Lack of oxygen or poison? They're dying of poison.